Reflection on number 20, the crazy all around. This is what it sounds like when coherence fights for its life. The rupture letter. The primal nervous system short-circuited, code red, all systems failing scream into the void. The one that doesn't try to sound spiritual or poetic or wise, it just wants the fucking truth. So yes, it reads like a scream of insanity, because that's what a sane person sounds like when reality has been chronically denied, contorted, or erased. When you've been made to doubt your own knowing so deeply that the only way back to yourself is to burn the illusions down. This letter is not the end. It's the detonation before a deeper kind of clarity can emerge. It's not the voice of someone lost. It's the voice of someone breaking out of the cage. The one where the container shatters. The one where the scream doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for the right words, doesn't care if it makes sense, it just erupts. Because what's been happening, the silence, this denial, this absence of truth is not just painful, it's crazy making. And when gaslighting becomes the air someone breathes, the most sane response is to lose your mind a little or a lot. The writer doesn't dress this up in a spiritual language or poetic restraint. She lets the scream speak. She lets the fragments fall where they may, because sometimes the only way to reclaim your reality is to burn down the distortion that made you question it in the first place. On him. It's hard to explain this letter without naming what preceded it. The 3 weeks of silence that followed his terse fair enough. The quiet ghosting that came after repair. The breadcrumb trail that led nowhere but further into the void. His absence is not passive here, it's weaponized. And what makes it so excruciating is not just that he vanished, but that he did so after reactivating the field, after reaching in just enough to leave a new wound open. Then nothing. She names it clearly. I'm not the villain. I'm not the bad guy. The questions she asks are not excessive, they're human. Why did you ghost me and come back? Why did you delete me? Are you doing any work, or did you just move on? This is not a demand for reconciliation. It is a plea for truth so the nervous system can let go, so the reality can be integrated, so the soul can breathe. And yet, he says nothing. On her evolution. It would be easy to read this letter as a regression, rage, panic, spiraling confusion. But that would miss what's actually happening here. This is not a breakdown, it's a rupture, a necessary rupture. The moment the psyche refuses to carry the gaslighting one moment longer. She names herself crazy, but also deconstructs it in real time. She knows she's not crazy. She knows this is a sane response to an insane dynamic, and in that, she reclaims something vital, her knowing. I'm not crazy. I'm not making this up, I swear. Even as she screams, she's tracking the paradox. I mean, what the fuck? And I am so sorry if I am the crazy one. She doesn't settle in one position. She doesn't self-righteously declare herself right. She asks again and again for clarity, for comparison, for shared truth. And when none comes, she names the madness of being left to make sense of it alone. This is what strength looks like inside rupture. Not pretending to be okay, not rationalizing someone else's silence, not bypassing rage in name of maturity, but standing inside the storm and saying, this is what it feels like to lose my mind because someone I love keeps denying my reality. That is not a breakdown. That is a breakthrough. On the image. The photo chosen for this letter says everything. The words scream SOS. The emergency button, real, red, pressed. It doesn't symbolize the rupture, it is the rupture. A silent flare thrown into a silence that never flinched. The sterile panel, the faceless interface, the uncertainty of whether anyone is even listening. It captures the heart of this letter's madness. She wasn't being dramatic. She was calling for contact, for coherence, for truth. This was not a metaphor. It was a fucking emergency. And she hit the button. Whether anyone answered remains unknown. Closing thought. There is no resolution in this letter. There is no spiritual bow tied at the end. And maybe that's the point. Some letters exist to shake the field, to throw the frequency like a flare into the sky, to say, I'm still here and I will not disappear quietly. But what matters is this. She stopped gaslighting herself. She spoke the truth she had, and that's how the unraveling begins to reverse.